Listen to Texas Congressman Tony Gonzalez pleading for federal help at the border. Watch this.
I am sounding the alarm as loud as I possibly can. And this threat is not only external. People are upset all over this country. I don't care how we got here. I don't care whose fault it is. I don't care about the politics. I want this to end, and I want our country to be safe from internal threats as well as external threats. And I'm willing to work with anyone. I'm willing to talk to anyone that wants to sit down and do that. And the time for talk is over.
Congressman Pat Fallon joins me now. Congressman, the migrant crisis really has become a huge unfunded mandate from the Biden administration. We have to take these illegal migrants in, no matter how dangerous or costly it is for states and cities, because of what the federal government is not doing at the border, right?
Well, yes, David. And, you have Alejandro Mayorkas, who's the Homeland Security Secretary, who is trying to claim that nothing has changed. Okay, so let me educate him. Under the Obama administration, in the first 34 months that he was president, there were a little under 1.5 million illegal crossings. And under the Trump administration, same time frame, it was 1.6 million. So very comparable numbers. Under the Biden administrations, it's 8 million. You know what, Mayorkas? Things have changed because on your watch, you have refused to enforce the laws that are on the books, and you will not let your Customs and Border Patrol agents do their jobs. That's why I filed impeachment articles on him when this Congress began at the beginning of the year.
What's the latest with the impeachment files? Because a couple have gone down. A new one was supposed to come up. When are we going to see that actually come to the House floor again?
We believe in regular order. So we right now there were a few other members that filed articles of impeachment. Chairman Mark Green, my dear friend, who's the chair of the Homeland Security Committee in the House, is having hearings right now. I believe they will favorably report impeachment proceedings for Alejandro Mayorkas to the House. I hope, as soon as possible when we get back in January, but I think it'll be in either January or in the coming months, and we'll finally have that vote in regular order, and I do think he'll be impeached. He should be.
I want to switch you to this whole kerfuffle over what happened, the fallout from the Colorado decision by the Supreme Court. In response, the Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Dan Patrick, suggests taking Biden off the Texas ballot. Are you in favor of that?
Well, I think, I served in the Texas Senate and served with and under Dan Patrick. I think he's the best lieutenant governor in the country. So he did say in that same sentence that, maybe we should. He was speculating but then he said in the same breath that we believe in democracy in Texas. So we wouldn't do something like that. But you know what? Push comes to shove. Who's doing these things? Who decided that election integrity is not important, and who fights us at every turn? The left. Who decided that they were going to prosecute the leading candidate for president in 3 different venues? The left. And now taking a step further, now don't worry about ballot integrity. Let's just take them off the ballot entirely. Who did that? The left. 7 political activists in black robes in Colorado. At least 3 of them got it right, and 4 of them are really threatening our republic.
And by the way, the 3 who you say got it right are Democrats as well. All 7 of them are Democrats. So I'm just wondering, not only are they obviously making the Republicans more strident about Trump in favor of him, but they're also turning off a lot of Democrats. Won't it end up hitting them in both sides?
I think so. Absolutely. You know what? That decision should have been 7-0. I do think it's going to be overturned by the United States Supreme Court, and that decision should be 9-0.
Right.
President Trump has not been convicted of anything, first of all. And he said that day, I was there that day, David, and he said, go down and protest peacefully. That's a bedrock of our republic. Yeah. So I don't know what these, again, this shows you how egregious 4 of those 7 have been. Right.
Well, the bottom line is he's never been convicted or even charged with insurrection. So it's a false premise, the whole kerfuffle. Congressman, thank you very much.